Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good today, not too bad. It's a beautiful sunny day, about 26 degrees, maybe a little cooler. Let me see. 25. Yeah, last time Fahrenheit. So it's a little cold. 32 is freezing, so it's not like extremely cold. But I was thinking too of sharing time for judgment has well, he's talking about, like we know they used to push, like in Life magazine, how global cooling was really a thing in the 70s, and that just kind of went away because their ability to create complete ice cap on the world isn't as strong as their ability to say that it's something else. And so that's the difference in those two things. So I think I will share that. It's not real long. I'm thinking maybe 20 minutes or somewhere around in there, but it's worth a listen. Then I was listening to a Hamish high frequency tribe about, telling people not to really freak out about, the stuff that we see being sprayed up in the sky and whatnot, and like how at first he was like extremely um, stressed about like the food and the different things that were going on, but he just took his child out of school and they moved up into the mountains, out of the valley, and they're doing better. In fact, they're sort of, I see it like an adventure, like building a chicken coop and um, having your own well and those types of things, that are important, the things that we should be doing and concentrating on, or if we can, um, above what they're trying to make us feel stressed about, all those types of things. So, yeah, excuse me a minute. So, and I think that often too. And in fact, if I had just gone along with what people told me, like even doctors or, um, a lot of times in my life, if I had listened to another human being, even if they said they were an expert, I wouldn't be sitting here. I used my instincts, luckily, and some of you know I was in a position, being adopted by the Masons where they were my enemy, and it was never a time where I didn't know that. I always wanted it to be something different or something a little more, but it really never was. So, yeah, it so that set me in a position to, oh dang it. Anyway, I'll get back to what I was saying. Okay, anyway, even when I was young, it set me in a position to, oh, God, okay. I really did ask for no interruptions, but that's life. Bear with me. So anyway, um, it put me in a position when I was a little kid to look into everything a little deeper. Like if somebody was telling me one thing, what is their actual motive for doing what they're doing, that type of thing. I think that's where I was going with that, but that was riding off of what I was saying about not letting, like with high frequency tribe, him saying, don't let this stuff get to you because that's like black pilling yourself. Um, I agree with that. That's what I'm trying to say. If I had always listened to what people had told me in my life, I would have been black pilling myself, like I talk about, and I said the other day, like physician heal thyself, you know, um, that those words are so important to understand who we are from the inside out, our brain physiology, our muscle motivations, our nervous system, you know, our environment, all these things you understand, even the people you're around, and what your body will go through, even on a electronic scale type of thing, being around a certain personality, you know. Um, Maybe some of us are mostly givers in our lives, and it really is who we are. We might not have much to give, but it's really truly who we are. And like they say, the takers have no limits, you know. But then maybe we're here giving to set that example for the next generations, and with that mindset, you know. Maybe we're done giving and maybe we don't need to do this anymore, is what I'm saying, you know. Train somebody else to do it and then they can take the baton and carry on the race, you know, that type of thing. So that's how I feel. I don't feel like I'm seclusively doing anything. This is teamwork out here, you know. So I just was looking for my team and I know I found them. Here's an example. And I've done this with several people in my life, but just today I was thinking of a friend, younger, that out of sadness really ended up being pretty goofy. But just that goofiness alone it got me cracking up. But that didn't take away from the turmoil this person was going through or anything. Like, I wasn't making light or making fun of that. But the memories of his goofiness, I just started laughing, you know, um, like a replay of a couple minutes in my head. I was like just cracking up, you know. You ever think of somebody and just their personality and a few things that they've done, and it brings you joy because you know who they are inside, and they're one of them type of people that doesn't really, well, maybe the only ulterior motive that they really have is helping this world become a better place, no matter how they're doing it, because we each have our own talents, you know. And so, but yeah, that made me laugh. I did tell Doug he could come in and say hi again, but you know, I told him I have a video to do. You know, I'm journaling my life and his life, whether he likes it or not. You know, and things that happen on that scale of, well, let's put it this way. I think it's possible to have such a mixture of personality traits, and perhaps the mixture that a lot of people have on the dark side of the dark triad personality traits may exhibit all of them. Like if they were deep inside felt like a sadomasochist, but they just took it down to a mild psychopath, but they couldn't display that in humanity, so they have to be sort of schizophrenic, you know, or manic depressive, you know. But have you ever met even attention deficit, or I mean, they just, it's like they can switch on and off whichever learning difficulty they want to use at that time. That's dark psychology and dark arts that I battle and you battle. We battle this stuff every day because that is who they are. You know, we can't forget to don't forget that people are. who they show you they are. I have a problem with that. I'm not being accusing here. It's like, but that is what I told Doug. It's like on my evaluation talking to God, you were there accusing me, and I remember your face, you know. I said, but it didn't work, did it? You know, I said, so how do you feel being a big failure? You know, and you can see how big his body is. He's huge. His legs are shorter, but his body is massive. It's two of mine, you know. And yes, he is a bully type person. Not always, but that is his dominant character. And when I met him, he seemed to be kind of the quiet, sort of shy. That doesn't even describe who I got to know. Not even close, you know. So yeah, I was thrilled to death. I worked pretty hard getting a big pile of my clothes put away. I sort of assessed what I had, and I was gonna put them more like pants in one spot and shirts in one spot, but I've got to move everything again when I get to finish when I we get this roof done this summer, and I can move my room around the way I want it. It's not how I want it right now, so um, I just did a quick job. Got a big pile of clothes put away. Some I don't really even wear, and I thought, well, I'll see what I want to do with them. I don't know yet. But yeah, I was happy I got that done. Got some dishes done, put away, and fed my kitties out there and cleaned the indoor one. They've got a big water and I clean it. So they like, Doug's cat likes a big dish of water. So it's actually, I use an old refrigerator crisper drawer, one of the smaller ones, about, maybe a foot wide and about 18 inches and about 12 inches deep. And so it keeps it pretty fresh, for a while, like a few days to a week, depending on how much fur he spits in it, you know, because he does literally just about take a bath in it. So, yeah. And then I'll add water to it for a couple days and it'll start getting nicky and then I gotta change it. So, and wipe their table and clean up their food and that type of thing. You know how it is. If you have an indoor kitty, I don't know. You might, or an outdoor one. I notice the outdoor ones, well, these ones that I have, they're wild, but they wouldn't be, um, well, they're messier. Yeah, they are. Because I'm not out there cleaning up after them all the time. So they spill stuff. But it doesn't matter. That's their house. I'll clean it out in the spring and, put the water outside. So I had one of the little white ones I call a Yeti baby. There's three of them with a gray dot on their head, and they have gold eyes, just the prettiest yellow gold eyes. And I had one of them come peeking out at me today and actually walking out towards me first, like the dad does. Um, but then it scared itself and got pretty close, about 5 feet. Then went running under part of their house, peeking out at me, playing peekaboo. So it was pretty cute, pretty brave. Because like I say, they're wild. The one I pet Yeti, and I can pet Puma if I stay out there and take a little more time. But yeah. I don't. They're wild. You know. It's just nice to see them. They've got a house with windows in it, and then in the morning and morning sunshine, they can sit on the east side of their house by their windows and sunbathe. I have a 4x4 under a eave for them, and then in the uh, afternoon, they can go sit on a truck that's out in the backyard or the back side of their house. So, yeah, they've got spots. And they go under the motorhome too. There's kind of a tunnel, a hole they kept there, and the rest of the snow it drifted in. So, must be like a cave under there. So, they've got all kinds of places to go. So, yeah. But I really have been having on my mind making sure people understand the dark arts that are being used in this world, and just about everybody's using them, and they know some it's not, some it's more subconscious, like they're not really conscious that they're actually doing it. But for the majority, I would say the most part, people are fully aware of the tricks of their trade that they use on other people. They know. Each and every one of them know on some level of consciousness. So yeah, they do. But see, I'm out to prove that the term narcissism and the dark triads are pure evil and of evil, and the, how would I put it, the global type minded person is more apt to tell everybody that, like, say, narcissism, for instance, isn't even a mental illness. It's like a choice you make in your life or whatever. Or, like, yeah, we're not psychopaths. It's just that everybody needs to die because we're lying about the state of the world. So, yeah. So they're trying to prove that it's not real. And it does say in the Bible that in the end days, Satan will, his biggest thing to fool people is that he doesn't even exist. See, that's the bottom line. That's his greatest trick. He doesn't, not necessarily, um, well, of course he's going to appear to be good, but the main trick is right now is, okay, somebody will dispute. Somebody had a meme that they had sent around to me, and it said that people believe in, like, this fairy tale and other ones, and they had, like, a picture of a depicted Christ, or Jesus, and I put underneath it, and Satan doesn't want you to believe he's real either. Spiritual warfare, and that is the difference right there. They don't want to admit that their side is even real, and they're trying to say that ours isn't, and they really are trying to separate us from God in many ways, more than one way. And actually, unless you're walking with God and you know you are, everybody is your enemy. Everybody can be used in that way. It just depends how far they're going to be used. It could be as small as like a little narcissistic joke, or something just kind of dirty that they did that you can't prove, or butting in front of you, or the rude things people do on a daily basis. That is a vibe lowering tactic. Anything that's adverse to to your happy nature, if that's who you really are, when you go out here and you encounter that lower vibe, it's um you you can, yes, you can ignore it. But there's times, say, like if you're tired or whatever, there's days you will have enough. And all the techniques that you've practiced or learned to, like, get yourself to chill is probably not going to work for a second sometimes, because everybody really does get tired on a physical level, your body, you know. So I learned a technique for lowering heart rate. Breathe in twice quickly through your nose and one long one, and exhale out a breath, which also within yoga breathing techniques have helped, but it would go like when you sniff in quickly, your heart rate goes up, and when you let it out, so if you're like stressed, just start letting out big breaths of air. Try to breathe through your nose. Do a couple quick breaths and a long deep one, and then exhale all of it really deeply, and it will help you chill. It works. Remember, twice, long, third one, real long, exhale. No. So, but yeah, really, to get your happy endorphins going in you, that really does work. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna start, like, if I'm getting stalked. Somebody's like just really not stopping with the nonsense. I'm gonna start that breathing in front of them. There's something else I'm gonna do too, and then exhale real deep and go like, whew. But there's something else I'm gonna try too. I don't know. I've done it and said it all, but just about. I haven't done it all, but I've just about said it all. I think I'm about done. Yeah. Yeah, there was another. It's not so much of a trick. It's a silencing mechanism for the dark triad bully. That's what I am. I'll think of the word of what I'm doing with this. I am perfecting. I am perfecting defenses against the dark triad. That's what I'm doing. And I'm telling everybody how I'm doing it too. Like, for instance, calling somebody in here to say hello while they're making noise, and they know they are, is a lot better. And see, something will happen that's shady because I did that, but something's going to happen shady anyway every day. So whether I did that or not, putting him on blast, he'll kind of act like he likes it, and in a way he will. But in another way, he doesn't like it one bit. I haven't quite heard about it yet, but that's why I told him today you can come in and say hi again if you want to, you know. So, in fact, I've asked him if I could do interviews with him, and I have one video that's like a Sunday welcome into this inside of the Illuminati bitch was to somebody that was giving me some shit. They didn't even have a clue of the battle I do on a daily basis for everybody and who I'm confronting. And I know some of you still may not believe me, but if you met him and you started digging into that mind, you would trip out. I'm serious. He's a trip and a half. Reminds me of that song, Wildwood Weed. Could take a trip and never leave the farm. You know, that's true. With Bozo the Clown and all his flying monkeys, you know. Just like God put things in play with the clock in the sky for us, for the Nephilim, so they'd know when their time is up. And they do know. They're just not wanting anybody else to know that, you know. But they do know. And they're trying to get every ounce of energy they can from people on this planet. And if they can trip you up and take you along with them, that's what they want to do. It isn't because they want you with them at all. So, you know, it's so their life will be more comfortable still than yours while they're still here. And they can watch you suffer and they can get paid for it. That's what they do. And all their dark energy has been put out on this planet for their generations of offsprings towards us. It's the woman's seed and the serpent's seed that are against each other. You know, they make war. Well, the serpent makes war with the woman's seed. But you know what? The woman's not putting up with it. Because human beings were put on this planet to rule over all the creatures, not just the four-legged kind, every single one of them. And they're going to know that. Who's boss? The one with the brain and the one with the heart that can put those two things together and operate like a full person. Those are the ones that own the planet, not the ones that are pretending to, you know. So how have you liked our cold weather around the world lately? I'll probably name the video that record-breaking low temperatures on, let's see, where was it? Like Mount Washington or 104 below. That's a little bit, not anything like, nothing's melting out there, people, at all, you know. So that's the difference, and that's because of the ocean currents and the jet streams, how they act because of the ocean all the time. So, and of course, the moon has a lot to do with the ocean currents too, or the movement of the tides, I should say. It doesn't control the currents ASAP. That's not right. But it does operate the tides, pulls on them. Yeah. Isn't it interesting to think of the words that, and God moved upon the face of the deep. The face of the deep. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm moving upon the face of the deep. I'm not really talking to anybody that doesn't realize there's not a spiritual war going on, because, yeah, there most certainly is. And don't forget, it does look like the underdogs aren't going to do anything, but the dent that we've already put on this planet will have a lasting effect. And all our documentation of all the good that we actually have been doing, us truth warriors out here, it'll come to light. More and more people are seeing that what's going on with the global minded people is truly regressed human state of thought, you know, lacking real science and logic and what is provable, you know, and what is provable over and over again is the weather patterns and human biology. I'll leave you on that note. We know how I feel about that one, huh? I sent around a male and a female lion. A lion and a lioness laughing their butts off about something. Beautiful picture on my Facebook, and I put up about it. Now they can't define the other gender. LOL. So I'll leave you there, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Have a beautiful night or day wherever you're at.